Welcome, lords and ladies, as we take another dive into the skull-smashing and bone-crunching world of chivalry medieval warfare. Funnily enough, I was setting up a video for this very game, and it's gone free for the weekend, so if you don't have it already, check it out on Steam. You can download it for free and play this weekend. Assuming you have a fast enough internet connection to download it for the weekend anyway. So basically what I wanted to talk about is another modded server, because I played Laser Swords last time, which was basically a Star Wars mod in the Chivalry gameplay. But now I've been playing this game mode called Horde. And basically Horde is your sort of general Horde mode in any game, where you basically play with other players. It's a 20-man server, there's 2 of them. And you play with basically 19 other chaps, fighting off hordes of Agatha Knights. And I've literally been having so much fun with this mode because you're just against so many NPCs. And you'd think these NPCs would be really stupid, but apart from a few times they get stuck outside the walls, or they sort of wander around and can't really find you, or get stuck on a ladder or something like that, they're actually really hard to fight against because they seem to have very human-like fighting abilities. Like they'll block and parry all your attacks and slice you in different directions, so it's actually quite hard to fight them. So when you have 20 people, it's actually really hard to try and take all these waves on. Especially for the fact that at the very start, you basically start off with a little shiv, and that shiv you can slowly upgrade your weapons, and you can upgrade your health, and there's some like mythical weapons, or some like sort of special weapons, but I've never gotten far enough to actually be able to afford one of those. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody get them. But yeah, there's like different shops scattered around the map, and as you kill things and as you stay alive, you earn points, which is quite cool. It's almost like an RPG system, and your character sort of levels up. The one that you're supposed to not get is the level 1 armor, because it just gives you 200 health, which you start with anyway, so there's no point in that. Anyway, the mod brings some different enemies to the map as well. It brings some skeletons, and like skeleton archers, and also makes these giant characters, so you're fighting against giant kings and giant skeleton knights, and it's pretty cool. And also they edit it so that you fight enemies with 2 shields, so it's a different experience of fighting them. And there's different steps of NPCs. There's like Viking sort of NPCs. There's those different types. Also, I think the HP on all the enemies is actually not the default amount, because some of the enemies take a lot more hits than they would in the vanilla experience. Also, the sheer scale of it, because I think there's so many more people and so much more going on in the battles in this Horde mode. Like, you literally feel like you're actually in a battle. Like in Chivalry, it's pretty cool, and the experience is very visceral. You're very in it, you're like bone crunching, you're literally like slashing people apart. You're smash of brains. It's a very immersive combat system. It's just got so much weight behind it, it just feels very natural. But in this mode, it just feels like a massive battle. And there's even NPCs on your side, because basically there's steps on the Horde mode. They break through the first walls, the outer walls, then they come up to the first gate. And you can defend this by throwing tar over them, and throwing those little bits of fire that come down. And there's 2 ballistas firing at the walls at the very start. And you've got to try and take out the big ones before they get into the castle. And also you can move these little platform spikes, and it makes them bounce off it, and they get a little hurt. But yeah, once they reach the final one that's at the top of the castle, they break through the last gate into the king's area where the throne room is, and a load of your guys, the king's guard, rush out. But basically just flail around and may as well be killing each other. Like all the battles between the NPCs, just massive, bloody melees. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous and also very spectacular. So yeah, I think this is going to be the closest you're going to get to a proper first-person medieval war experience. The only problem with the game, and that's for me, because I'm a European, basically there are only 2 servers, and they're both in America. So I always go in and have a ping of 120, and because I have a bad internet anyway, sometimes I completely lag out. Normally it plays fine because you're fighting against bots, so it doesn't really matter if you're completely accurate with your sword swings and everything. You just have to sort of get in there and give them a big jab or swing. Yeah, something else cool to mention is that they've included these traps. So basically there's pots of fire to throw over and the ballas at the start, but there's also a trap inside the base where they run under it, And it's got basically a rope, and the rope breaks, and a massive chandelier of spikes drops down and kills several enemies, and you can get about 10 of them underneath that and just crush them, which is always cool. So anyway, thanks for watching everybody, and I thoroughly recommend trying out Chivalry Medieval Warfare in the weekend, even if you're not going to play the Horde mode, because it's a very good game and extremely fun. But I would suggest you give the Horde mode a good try, because it is just such a blast. Also, if you're a Star Wars nerd, or generally a bit of a sci-fi buff, give the Star Wars mod a go, which is called the Laser Sword server. It's just marked Laser Sword. And you can tell on the server browse because the servers that are modded are brown. And there's also modded maps which are pink, which may be fun as well. If you enjoyed the video, everyone, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Feedback's always great. And until next time, everyone, I've been Joshino. Thank you very much.